Good morning.
Hello, who is here with me? It's a very windy day for us here in Los Angeles. So hopefully the antennas don't get blown down. So who is here? I know some of you are. Yoga for wellness. Definitely have something planned for today, but I would love to hear from those that are here if there's anything special that you need so that I could do that if that's the case, if there's a need that exists. Lynn, good morning. How are you? Hi, Stevie. It's been asked quite a bit lately about when will we be in person again, and we did have a meeting. They're going to do a trial for the May, June classes to see how that works. To see, there's just different things depending on whether or not they need to wear masks, the teachers need to wear masks or not, whether we'll do some on Zoom and some in person. So hard to believe that it's been 3 years, and it has. And I know we're all craving that in person. So for those of you that practice with me in person, you two in particular, because that's who I see here, hopefully we're looking at the summer of trying, and they are going to start trying that in May if it's possible. So that's something to keep in mind, that that's a potential. Always so mind-blowing to think about that, really. Okay. Sun Tzu, hello, how are you? Foot flexibility, wow, that's a good one. All right, well, we'll do some things with the feet and the ankles and the attachment of the foot to the legs. We'll do that. And then, yeah, let's do that. Actually, in my training with my teacher in India, I did a year-long program with him and through his lineage. And the very first aspects of what we were doing were foot-based, all in a seated position. And the reason for that is because the nerve endings from the brain terminate in the feet, yet the pathway from brain to feet, it's the same pathway. So, for example, the nerves that go to the organs, like the sensory organs, that pathway continues all the way down to the feet. And this is how reflexology works. In the feet, they target the nerves that are related to other aspects of the body. So you go to the feet, which is the bottom, and you try to stimulate what that pathway would lead to. That's why they try to do liver, stomach, sensory organs. It's really fascinating when you think about it. And there's a lot about it that's sensical, right? Because we're not always going to be able to prove everything in a lab and in a scientific study. And that's where I think we all go wrong. We get so caught up in where's the evidence and where's the scientific research. Yet this multicellular 70 trillion cell being that we are physically, and then the mind and the spiritual aspect of us cannot really be quantified in a lab, and actually can't be contained to be identified in the way that we identify things with our double-blind randomized studies. So, they say you cannot hold a moonbeam in your hand. I feel that way with a lot of what we try to figure out from a scientific aspect. So all of that came from, can we stretch our feet or stimulate our feet? And it brought me into the depths of my studies with my teacher and the lineage that I chose to study with in India in yoga therapy. So yes, we will bring that in, and I'm going to try to remember that. Carolyn, good morning. Yeah, Stevie. Yeah, in person would be wonderful, right? All right. Well, I'm going to go back here and start doing what we're going to be doing. So yoga, the word yoga is to yoke, the union of mind, body, and soul. Your time for you. Yoga for Wellness is a perfect name because this is for wellness, not a name that I chose, a name that I inherited 9 years ago, or in 2014 when I started teaching at Torrance Memorial Medical Center in Southern California. And so that's what we're doing, Yoga for Wellness. So let's see what happens today. I do have some things planned for today's class. Because yoga is about movement and breath together, that's an aspect of this practice, is you want to use the breath with the movement. So for today's practice, I'd like us to follow this pattern in the practice. And this will actually make it easier for you when you're not being guided in a class and you're looking for ways to do your own practice and maybe not remembering what to do. So today's practice, we're going to use breath. We're going to move 3 times and then hold for 3 breaths. So we'll do what's called dynamic movement for 3, and then we'll do static holding for 3. And this is the way that the body moves. The body either can be in a movement position or a statically held position. Those are the polar opposites of what happens in our joints and in our muscles and our bones. We either have that flexibility and mobility and movement of muscles and all of the biochemical physiological aspects of that, or we have the muscles stabilizing the body and holding the joint in an alignment position for whatever it is you're doing, standing up straight, coming into a posture, skiing, whatever it is you're doing, there has to be this structural safety held position that happens. So on one hand, you have moving or motion or mobility, and the other you have static or holding or stability. So this is what we're going to play with today. We're going to do 3 breaths to move, 3 breaths to hold. And then when you are looking for your own practice, whether that's first thing in the morning when you wake up, or you want to come down onto the ground, you will have that ability to close your eyes, move your body in whatever way, 3 breaths to move, 3 breaths to hold. For today's practice, we'll need a strap and a block and a blanket. And then we're going to come down into the ground because we want to really be connected here, mind, body. For those of you that have a lot of activity in your mind, let's all do this. So this is a thing to do if you have a lot of activity in your mind. Maybe you're just in a place of a lot of energy currently. And I don't necessarily mean physical body energy, maybe a lot of mental energy. So let's take our mental energy and ground our mental energy. Take your hands down by your side. You're going to inhale to bring your hands up. Allow your hands to find each other above you and bring them down, straight down the midline to your heart. You bring your hands out and up and down. If you have shoulder issues, you may be going out and in, or out and in. So anything, if you can do some kind of pattern where the arms move away from you and then they need to intentionally come back and find each other, that's what we're doing. We're getting into the brain. Close your eyes if you can. You inhale up, you exhale down. Be right here, right now. You inhale, notice your arms moving away. You exhale, the hands come together and you draw the hands down to your heart. Feel that, notice that. Up and down. Noticing maybe that there's a heat generating in the shoulders. Maybe you need to slow down your breath. Maybe you need to let your arms go out to the side, increasing shoulder mobility. Now I want you to pay attention to how your hands come together and notice how they find each other. Let your heart lift. Try to be a little bit more close to your body. So the hands go out to the side. When they find each other, it's directly above your head, and maybe even your thumb grazes your forehead, the tip of your nose, the base of your chin, down to your chest. Inhale up, exhale down. Starting to work on alignment in the physical body, in the joints, and alignment in the mind. One more breath. Hands come together, bring the hands down to your heart. Keep your hands here, press your heart to your hands and your hands to your heart. Press pretty strongly so you feel the activation of the postural muscles in the back. Let's do a gentle sound, a gentle hum to calibrate, to harmonize everything internally. Keeping the mouth closed, a gentle hum. Breathe all the way down to the base of your spine. Bring your awareness to your eyelids as you gently blink your eyelids open. Let's bring ourselves down onto the ground. Notice if you were able to stimulate parasympathetic nervous system, the place of healing, repairing, and restoring in the body. Bringing yourself down onto the ground. Close your eyes whenever possible in the practice to go inward. Push your arms into the ground. Lift your rib cage away from the ground and slide the shoulder blades towards the center, towards the spine. And then let your hands go on your belly. Lengthen the back of the neck. Bring your awareness to your head. Eyes are closed. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, gently and slowly let your head go to one side. Go to where you feel a stretch. And then inhale back up to center. A little awareness here with the neck, with the cervical spine. So as you rotate to one direction, you should feel, or you may feel, a stretch in the opposite side. Notice if that's the case for you. That means on that side of your skeleton, you're lengthening and stretching the muscles. Now notice if the direction you're moving towards has any kind of pinching sensation. And if it does, that's the side you're contracting towards. And if there are any joint issues, then sometimes that can be uncomfortable. And so that's a little self-diagnostic on what's going on with your cervical spine. Stretching the opposite side, contracting and maybe impinging nerves if you have any issues in your joints. So noticing what's going on in your neck, your cervical spine. There's 7 bones here. Keeping your mouth closed, breathing in and out through your nose, beginning to develop heat internally, slowing down the breath, focusing the breath in the mind, and releasing molecules that relax the airways. And bring your head back to a static held position. Bring the hands down to your belly. Spread your fingers. Let your thumbs be right around your lower ribs. So slide your hands up so you feel the thumbs on the lower ribs. Then press your shoulder blades into the ground, heart up towards the sky. Press the sacrum, which is the base of your spine, into the ground. Noticing what you notice in your body. Finding that alignment. Keep your hands there, let them rest on your belly, and begin to breathe down your spine to your tailbone on your inhale. And let the breath come up the spine and out the nostrils on the exhale. Now bring your awareness to your hands. Breathe to the lower ribs. So you actually feel the lower ribs pressing into the thumbs that are on the lower ribs. Notice how much of your chest is moving when you breathe to your lower ribs, and how much of your belly is moving when you breathe to your lower ribs. Now breathe to your belly. Try to let the chest be quiet as you breathe to your belly. Feel your hands rise and fall. Be in your body when you breathe. You breathe in down your spine to the lower ribs, to the belly, all the way to the tailbone. Let your inner eyes notice where the breath goes in your body. And then notice if it's equal right and left. Notice if it's equal top and bottom. Do you feel the low back receiving the breath when you breathe in? Now direct all the breath to the low back. So much so that you feel the low back pressing towards the ground. And for many, you'll feel a relief in the low back, moving the low back in the opposite curve that it naturally lives in. See if you could breathe all the way down to your rectum. So you truly are in the deepest back part of your body, down towards the tailbone. And then take the last few breaths to the lower belly, to the hands, to where the legs attach, to the side of the body, back of the body, the whole part of you, to feel as much pressure, intra-abdominal pressure. That's very healthy. Healthy for digestion, healthy for spinal alignment, healthy for deep breathing, energy production, detoxification, supports an alkaline environment, so supports your biochemistry, physiology. Deep breaths. Feel that pressure created from the breath. Finishing up your last breath. Bringing your awareness to your fingers and your toes as you start to bring movement into your body. Drawing one knee at a time. Go slow. Feel how the low back presses into the ground on the side of the knee that you draw in, and then draw the other one in. Pulling the knees towards your chest. Rock side to side, so you're actually rocking across the top edge of your pelvis. This is where the lower back muscles, the muscles that rotate your trunk, stabilize your trunk, align your spine, hold you upright, balance your head on top of your body. This is where those muscles attach to the pelvis. So rolling from side to side across the tendinous part of those muscles, where most of the inflammation and pain occurs, side to side, becoming your own yoga therapist, your own physical therapist. Then bring yourself onto your side. Keep your eyes closed, noticing what you notice here, and then take your hands open. Push your elbow into the ground and your hand into the ground, and bring yourself up to seated. As a yoga therapist, I have always known that all disease begins in the mind. And in the West, in the world that I'm in with many practitioners, chiropractors, doctors, nurses, other health coaches, I hear so much more from them teaching breath work, teaching meditation, because they're realizing that really everything does begin in the mind. And in yoga, the belief is that the practice of yoga is liberation from suffering. And your mind is not just what you have with you today, it's what you've brought with you from one generation to the next, to the next, to the next. So learning how to manage our mind is critical to health. And when we do breathing work, breath work, breathing techniques, the one that we did today was a lot of somatic awareness. We first brought the mind to a focused place, so really focusing mental energy, putting the brakes on mental energy thoughts, and then bringing our awareness inside, breathing up and down our spine to actually know that we can do that. And then using the diaphragm, the primary breathing muscle, as the most active aspect of breath during this practice, using that with awareness to feel that happen, and then to feel how much pressure we could create inside, because as the diaphragm moves deeper, it creates even more intra-abdominal pressure. And that, when you're sitting up, actually has a lifting effect in your spine, so it's great for spinal alignment. And for osteoporosis or bone health, if any of you are in that category, it really can be protective for the spine to either heal spinal wedge fractures or to avoid them. So, not just breathing, but rather healing, and really deep healing. That's a great breathing technique to use when you need it. In the middle of the night, for those of you that have issues with sleep, bringing your hands onto your belly. It's often the way that I put myself back to sleep. If I wake up around 5 a.m. and I want to sleep till 6, I'll bring my hands physically onto my body, let my mind go to feel my forearm or my hands, whatever part of me I'm touching, feel that rise and fall. And it works like a charm, and it works every time. So add this to your treasure chest of healthy aging tools, of wellness tools, and tap into it whenever you need. All right, so we're going to come on to the practice. Let's come on to all fours, getting our body to move. Moving through stability and mobility today, doing dynamic and static movement. Taking your hands, let's bring the hands pretty far forward. I find that this is better for those of you with wrist issues, to be pretty forward. And then spread your knees wide. And start to push your hips side to side. Pushing your hips side to side, this is going to start to stretch the hips. Start to stretch where the legs are attached to the body. And then look forward and look up. Really look up a lot here. And you're going to start to notice a tension that develops in the upper back and neck. We're strengthening the upper back and neck here. Really important for health. Bring yourself back to center. Imagine there's a Sharpie marker on your tailbone that extends behind you. Start to draw a line to the left, down towards the floor, over to the right, up to the sky, over to the left, down to the floor, to the right, up, left, down, right, up. And make a circle. Keep your head looking forward. You probably are noticing a little heat at the back of your neck. And of course, if it's not comfortable at all, you can move your eyes down a little bit. And then let's switch directions, going to the left, going up, going to the right, going down. Go as big as you can here, stretching the low back, the muscles, the vertebra, the hips, and then strengthening the upper back. So moving the lower body and getting the upper body to protect you through that movement. Try to make as smooth of a circle as you can. Also, the obliques and the core muscles are activated here as well. And then bring yourself back to center. Bring yourself all the way up. Let's do a little foot movement as we stretch our neck, because you may have developed tension in your neck. So with the feet, take your feet, bring the right foot into the left foot. So the top of the foot is coming into the left foot. And then see if you could sit back on your feet. So see if you could do that. So we're actually disrupting the nerve signals, the afferent and afferent, and the pathway from foot to brain, brain to foot. So we're trying to actually have an effect on the nerve signaling that goes up and down the body. Sitting on your foot with as much pressure as you can. Right foot is in that left arch. Noticing what you notice. The more back your body weight is, the more challenging this is. Let's stretch the neck. The ear, one ear goes up towards the sky. Come back to center. The ear up towards the other side. Take your elbows in alongside your body. Ear up and back. Side to side. Stretching your neck. And then bring yourself forward, bring yourself up, switch. Take the left top foot and put the left top foot in the right arch and then sit back. Noticing if you're able to do this, if it's equally as, well, uncomfortable or painful are the ways that we could go with that. Or maybe it's not anything at all to you. So just noticing what you notice there. And of course, if it's too painful, don't do it. Take your elbows underneath your shoulders. Let your head go side to side. Rotation, noticing the stretch that happens. The torso stays stationary here. Bring yourself back to center. Teeth are together. Chin to chest. Chin up towards the sky. Chin to chest. Up towards the sky. Bring yourself back to center. Bring yourself all the way up. Flip. So we're going to begin with sitting on our heels if we can. Bringing ourselves up. Flip the toes under. Sit on your heels. Bring yourself up. Toes are down. Sit on your heels. Up. Do whatever range of motion you can do. If you can do this, getting the knees to move, hips to bend and unbend, feet to move. So really taking this whole bottom chain, warming up the lower extremities, noticing what you notice along the way. And then bring yourself up. Noticing that heat in the quadriceps from that. Healthy legs are really an indicator of healthy aging. So we want to have strong legs as we age. Let's come into all fours. Take your forehands forward. So the pointer finger forward. And then have your hands underneath your body. Bring your awareness to your tailbone. Start to let your tailbone move up and down the back wall. So moving the lower part of your body, keeping your rib cage relatively straight. Now, for those of you that have osteoporosis, this is the movement you should do in your spine when it comes to flexion. So when the tailbone goes down, you could flatten the lower back or try to flatten the lower back, but you do not want to bring any rounding into the thoracic spine if you have osteoporosis. All of us can do this movement here. It's called extension, cat posture. Inhale here, feel the belly stretch. Let your rib cage move towards the ground. push your heart towards the ground, push your tailbone up and the crown of the head up. Probably feeling a stretch here in your belly, stretching the front of the body. Take an inhale. As you exhale, start to draw a line down the back wall with your tailbone. Stop at the lower ribs if you have osteoporosis, and if you don't, you can bring your flexion into your body, letting your head point down and your tailbone point down. Inhale, exhale. Moving the spine through flexion and extension. Be as long as you could be from tailbone to the crown of the head. One more. Bring yourself back, bring yourself all the way up. Stretch your wrists, so take fists and move around, making sure that you're bending, that the wrist is doing a lot of this work. It's not this, you're not moving your hands. We're not moving our shoulders and our elbows. You want it to be your wrists. Try to keep your forearms, they're gonna move because they're rotating. This is a rotational movement and a flexion movement. Then open and close your hands, bend your fingers, look at your fingers, all parts of the fingers, and then flick like you're flicking something away. So let's do spinal balance. The intention of this is to come into extension to stretch the back of the spine, and then to come into a held position. So we're going to be moving into spinal balance, and then coming down, in and down, and then hold. So 3 breaths of movement, and then 3 breaths of holding. Bring your hands onto the ground right underneath the shoulders. Let's slide the right leg away and the left hand. Tip of your nose is down towards the ground, or it could be slightly forward. Exhale. Inhale to lift. Exhale. Inhale. One more. Stay here. 3 breaths. And then bring yourself down. Let's go to the other side. Right hand away, left leg. Exhale. Inhale. Really reach long from your limbs. Stay here for 3 breaths. Bring yourself down. Bring yourself all the way out. Moving your wrists. Let's take the block. Take your block, and you're going to hold your block like this so your elbows are going close together. So we're going to do dolphin plank or forearm plank. We'll do a modification to the full plank for 3, then we'll hold it for 3 breaths. If bringing your knees off the floor is too challenging, then you can keep your knees on the floor for the 3 breaths without movement. So you bring your hands forward, bring your elbows onto the ground, bring your elbows underneath your shoulders, and then walk your knees back. So you want to come into where you're actually feeling more even here. Then flip your toes under, exhale. Inhale to lift, the knees away, exhale to lower. Inhale, exhale. One more. Stay here for 3 breaths. And then bring yourself all the way down. Block off to the side. Bring your pelvis back so that your belly and your pelvis are on the blanket. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Take your palms wide. Push down with your hands. And then bring your legs straight off your body. Push your feet into the floor. And with that pressure, pushing the feet into the floor, draw your rib cage away from your pelvis. Push your heart forward. So feel a stretch. And then push away from the ground. Feeling a stretch in the belly here, stretching the front of the body. So we're going to do 3 looks to the side, each side, and then we're going to hold each side for 3, stretching the top of the psoas, stretching the front of the body. Exhale, inhale to look back towards your heel, back to center. Inhale the other side. Exhale back to center. You can close your eyes. Looking up, even if the eyes are closed, pushing away from the ground, keeping that stability in the upper body. Last time to the left. Bring yourself back to center, looking over the right for 3 breaths. Breathe down to your belly. And then to the left. Bringing yourself forward. With length in your body, bring yourself down to the ground. Fold your hands, elbows are out to the side, forehead rests on the back of your hands. Wiggle your pelvis side to side to take tension out of the low back. So now we're going to strengthen the spine, alignment, posture, upper back and neck muscles. So close your eyes, be in your body, feel this, going through dynamic movement to static holding. Forehead rests in the back of the hands. Let your body settle. Exhale. As you inhale, push your nose away as if you were pushing a marble away. Push your hands into the floor, lift your body away from the ground. Feel that work in your body, the stretch, the strength. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Now bring yourself up and hold for 3 breaths. Bringing yourself all the way down at the end. Bring your hands out to the side. Elbows are off the shoulders. Palms are on the ground. Forearms are on the ground. Walk your feet so the big toes touch. Soles are up towards the sky. Lift your head up and then lengthen your head away from you so you feel a lot of length in your spine. Let the forehead touch the ground. Exhale. Inhale. Push your hands into the floor. Slide them back or feel like you're pulling back towards your legs. Nose comes forward as if you're pushing a marble away. And then bending your spine to lift yourself up, activating those spinal muscles. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. See if you could feel your back muscles all the way down to your pelvis, turning on and activating. Slowly bringing yourself up and holding for 3 breaths. And then bring yourself down. Forehead touches the ground. Take your hands so that your thumbs are right by your armpits. We're moving through different variations, getting the spine to activate. You determine how big you want to go on this because we're doing quite a bit of back bending. For the low back, to get relief in the low back, if you push the pubic bone, so the very front bottom part of your pelvis, if you push that strongly towards the floor and you lengthen your tailbone away from you, that'll help to minimize some of that extension in the lumbar spine. We are working the back, so you are going to feel something in the back, but you want it to be appropriate. So let's move through the cobra, taking your thumbs either up high by the shoulders or at armpit height. Elbows stay in towards the body. When you do come up, if you push your hands into the ground and you feel like you're dragging them back towards your feet, that gives you a little length to bring yourself up to get that bend in the spine. Push the toenails into the ground, soles of the feet are up towards the sky, forehead touches the ground. Exhale. As you inhale, push your hands into the ground, move a marble away from you with your nose, start to bend your spine from the top. Lift yourself up as high as your body will go, and exhale slowly to lower. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And on this next one, we're going to come up and hold for 3. Nose is forward. And then bring yourself down. Take your hands, fold your hands, spread your legs wide. Let your forehead rest in your hands and wiggle your pelvis side to side. And bring your legs straight off of your body. Soles of the feet are up towards the sky. We're going to come into locust, which is a total body back bend, lifting up against gravity. Hands are down alongside your body. We're going to lift the arms, the torso, and the legs off the ground. 3 to move, and then 3 breaths to hold. Long spine, forehead touches. Exhale. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower, with length in your body. Inhale to rise. And exhale. You're going to bring yourself up and hold for 3 breaths. When you come down, turn your head to the right. Let your head go to the right. Let the left ear, left cheek touch the ground. Let your shoulders round forward, hands are on the ground. If you need to take your right hand out to the side, you can, or bend the elbow. If you need more relief in the neck, this is stretching the neck. Wiggle your pelvis side to side, and then bend your legs. Let your legs gently move side to side. Bring your legs down onto the ground. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Lift your head up. Turn your head to the left. Let the right cheek and the right ear touch the ground. Noticing if both sides are the same. Do you feel more stretch or more tension on one than the other? If you need to take your left hand out to the side to release the tension, you can. Breathe down to your belly. Take one more breath. So bring one hand up, bring yourself onto a side. Pause here. Take your hand on the ground. You're going to push yourself away from the ground with your hand and your elbow to bring yourself up. Noticing how you're feeling. There's this beautiful place you can be in the practice of yoga where you still feel calm and mellow. yet you're strengthening your body. And that means that the nervous system is in a place of relaxation, using the breath to integrate, which means that internally you're going to be able to heal and repair your body a lot better in that state. Yet you're still able to get that strength, which is really beautiful. Okay, I have a little cat that wants to do yoga. Hi, honey. Hi, are you doing yoga with us? You want to do yoga? This is Hamilton. All right, we're going to do lunges. All right, Hamilton? So it's up to you if you want to join the party. Okay, I'll put him out because that's what he's in here for, is to get out. He's in to go out. Pardon the interruption. All right, so let's come into a lunge. Get your block. Bring the right foot forward. Bring the right foot forward and bring your block in the left hand forward. And bring the block all the way up to where your foot is. And then bring your right hand onto your leg. Make sure that your right foot is forward so that you have the heel pretty far forward. If you bring the foot back here and you lunge forward into your knee like this, right here, you actually are damaging your knee. So you want to make sure that your front foot is forward. Also, when your front foot is forward, you can push the heel in and really activate the back of the body. So strengthening the glutes on that front leg side and stretching the hip flexors and other muscles on the back side. So we want to have a nice straight spine here. You're going to bring yourself forward. So bringing your pelvis forward. Take your pelvis from up here. You got to bend that front hip, bend that front knee to bring your body forward. So this is what we're going to move through, and then we'll hold this. So bringing yourself into a neutral, be as tall as you can. Your pelvis is back at first. Exhale. You're going to inhale to come forward. Exhale back. Inhale. Keep your head lifted. Don't look down. Use the front hand to push into that leg to keep your spine long. One more through movement. Bring yourself back to neutral. And let's enter this and hold for 3. Long front spine. You're going to bring yourself up and out. We're going to switch. Go slow because there's a lot of joint stabilization here on that hip. If you go slow, you lift your leg up. You have to balance. So you get the opportunity of working on the stabilizing aspects of the joints. Bring the block forward. Bring the left foot forward. When you get here, bring your pelvis back up more to neutral. Make sure you're not rounding your spine. So you have your hand on your block to keep your spine forward. Exhale. Let's begin. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more forward. Push that front heel into the ground. See if you can feel the back of your leg. And now we're going to come forward and hold for 3. Long spine. Push away from the leg. Push away from the floor. Push away from the block. And then bring yourself up. Bring yourself out. Sit down on your heels. Close your eyes. Catch your breath. Noticing what you notice in your body. And then open your eyes. So this next one may be a little challenging. We're going to do a plank posture. So that we're going to do a plank posture. We're going to lift the leg up for 3 and then hold for 3. And then the other leg up for 3 and hold for 3. So this will be quite a bit. modifications. You could come down into forearms. You could come up onto fists for wrists. And you could leave your legs on the ground and your leg lift maybe like this. And then holding for 3. And then holding for 3. So whatever you'd like to do, the full plank is going to be more challenging. So choose what's appropriate for you. Point your fingers or forward, spread your hands. Take one foot back, take the other foot back, exhale. Inhale, lift the right leg, exhale, lower. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale to lift and hold for 3. Lower the right leg. Inhale to lift left. Lower. Hold for 3. Bring your lip down. Come out. Close your eyes. Sit in whatever position is relaxing for you. Bring the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Keep your mouth closed, breathing in and out through your nose. Slow down your breath. And then let your arms rest. Close your eyes. Catch your breath. And blink your eyes open. The more muscles we use, the more demanding the postures are, the more accelerated the breath becomes. So that was definitely a challenge, doing plank in that way. And then using the breath can really keep you in it. So always trying to do what's appropriate for your body. Bring your blanket up to, well, bring it in front of you. And then fold your blanket in 2. We're going to do a squat for those of you that can, maintaining what you can. So bringing your heels onto the blanket if you need. For some of you, that's something that you need. For others, you may be able to come off and bring your feet onto the ground, bringing your hands to the inside of your legs, bringing the palms together, pushing out, really stretching those hips, the inner thighs. This helps to tonify pelvic floor. It's one of the intentions of this posture. Keep you in good joint flexion position. From here, coming out, we're going to come onto the tops of our feet. So doing a little balancing act on your feet. So you're bending your feet, you're strengthening your feet, stretching your feet, using your feet. Bring your hands together. Notice your feet, what they're doing. Notice the other parts of your body, your ankles, your knees. One more breath. And then bring yourself out. Blanket at the top of the mat. Bring yourself onto your buttocks. Bring yourself to the side. Hand reaches away from you and bring yourself onto the ground. Lift your rib cage, slide your shoulder blades closer to your spine. Bring your feet a little wider than your body. Bring your hands to the side. Do a little bit here to take out tension in the spine. Start moving the lower body. Soles of the feet are on the ground, moving your body side to side. letting the soles come off when your soles are ready. And then bring yourself back to center. The soles of the feet are on the ground, the heels are on the mat or just off, the toes are pointing away from you. Bring your arms so that your arms are pretty high, hopefully feeling a little stretch in the chest and the shoulder area. And then do a little tilting of your pelvis so your low back flattens towards the ground. Feel that. Take tension out of the low back, starting to move the lumbar spine, tipping the pelvis and activating the muscles that do this action. Core muscles are a part of this. And then bring yourself back to center, long neck. Exhale. Inhale, let your knees go to the left, let your head go to the right. Exhale, contract your core, come back to center. Inhale, knees back to the left, head to the right. Exhale, back to center. One more with movement. Inhale, knees to the left, head to the right. Back to center. And then inhale, let the knees go to the right, let the head go, or knees to the left, sorry, head to the right. Stay here for 3 breaths. Bring yourself back up to center. Exhale. Inhale, knees to the right, head to the left. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, knees right, head left. Back to center. Last time, knees to the right, head to the left. Back to center. Coming into this and holding for 3. Bring yourself back up to center. Walk your feet back. Take your legs long. So you can either do this with straight legs or bent knees. We're going to draw the knee into the chest for 3, and then we're going to hold for 3. So this is actually core work, and it's unilateral core. If you're able to let the legs go straight, it's going to be more work for the body to do this. And if you need to keep your knees bent because your low back is not happy or any other issues, please do so. Exhale. Inhale. On the exhale, draw the left knee in. On the inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left knee. Inhale to lengthen. And then exhale to draw the left knee in. Hold for 3 breaths. Draw the knee pretty deeply to your chest. Let the leg go straight. Arms are up. Exhale. Inhale. On your next exhale, right knee comes in and lengthen. Right knee in. Lengthen. Last movement. And now draw the right knee in and hold for 3 breaths. At the end of the exhale, bring the right foot onto the ground, bring the left foot onto the ground. Draw both knees into your chest, rocking side to side across the top of the pelvis. Keeping your knees here, take your arms to the side. Push the knees away from you. So the more we're going to unbend and bend the legs, and then we're going to hold unbent. So the more work would be if your legs are right off of your pelvis, and you'd have to stabilize your pelvis here with your core. Closer to the chest is a little easier for the low back. So if you do let your legs go away, you have to activate the core, really bracing the core, drawing the pelvic floor up, lower ribs down, and bracing yourself with the core strength. So you decide where you want to begin with your legs. Exhale. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to bend. One more with movement. And then coming into a held position for 3 breaths. On the exhale, draw the knees in. So this is working the core, the trunk stability. So the next one we're going to do is we're going to come from a tabletop and tap the toes down and up, down and up. And then we'll hold for 3. The other side down and up, hold for 3. And then we'll go to 2. So having the knees right here, having the leg bones come off your pelvis is a lot more work. And if you need, you can bring it closer. So there could be a lot of lower back aggravation if you're not bracing yourself and really stabilizing. You don't want your pelvis rocking in this. You want your pelvis to be stable and the legs are moving independent of the pelvis. So that's the goal. Having the blanket folded quite a bit, letting the head lift up a little, can be a little protective for some of you that have low back issues. So do what you need to do for yourself. Take your hands to the side. Bring your legs into a tabletop position. Exhale. Inhale to touch the right toe down. Exhale to draw it back. Inhale down. Exhale back. Inhale down. Exhale back. And then let's do 3 held. So let the toe come down and do little taps. 3 breaths. And then draw your leg up. Draw the knees in to come out of the place of tension. Even holding the legs up there the whole time requires stabilizing work. Let's come back. Exhale. Inhale, left foot down. Exhale, back up. When we come to the held position down, you could do little taps because it really helps to keep you active. It's a pretty strong, stabilizing movement. And then draw yourself up, bring yourself out, side to side. Bringing your legs up. Let's try both. Exhale. Inhale, toe taps. Exhale, up. Toe taps. And then bringing the toes down for 3 breaths. And then draw your knees in. Bring your legs wide into a happy baby, pressing the low back, spread your legs. And then bring your knees back.
go into the back of the body, go into bridge. 3 bridges to move, 3 bridges to hold. We'll put our feet in different positions. So we want the blanket away from the back of the head here. Let's take the block in between the knees. Slide the shoulder blades towards each other. Arms are down alongside your body. Lift your head up. Walk your feet as close as you could get them to your body. Exhale. Tilt your pelvis back, flatten your low back. And as you inhale, peel your spine up and away from the floor. Exhale to lower. Close your eyes. Feel the undulation of your spine from tailbone to as far as you could get away from the ground on the upper spine. Squeeze the block. And then you're going to bring yourself up for 3 and hold. 3 breaths. When you finish that 3rd one, you're going to bring yourself down. Take your block out, get your strap. We're going to come into a wider stance. So if you have a strap that loops, loop your strap. And if you don't have a strap that loops, you could tie it. A pretty big opening here because we have a wide stance with our legs. Bring the strap to the top thighs. And when you spread your legs, your feet should come towards the side of the mat with your legs in the strap. Walk your feet closer to your body. Lift your rib cage up. Slide the shoulder blades towards each other. Lengthen the back of your neck. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Push out on your strap. Tilt your pelvis back. Let the low back touch the floor. Exhale. Inhale, peel your spine up and away. Exhale to lower. Inhale. And then you're going to come up and hold for 3 breaths. Push out on your strap. Lift yourself up. 3 breaths here. And then slowly bringing yourself down. Bring your blanket back underneath your head. Draw your knees in. Take your strap off. Then bring your strap onto your right foot. Strap onto the right foot. Holding onto the strap in both sides. And keep your legs straight. Start to bend your foot side to side. Stretching the ankle. And then draw your leg back. Feel that stretch in the back of your leg. Releasing tension. And then let's bring the left foot up into the strap. Right foot on the ground. You're pulling side to side, so you're stretching the ankle joint. Which helps to free up foot tension, helps support balance, and also takes tension out of the knees, the back, and the hips. Bring yourself back to center. Draw the leg back towards the wall behind you. Feeling that stretch in the back of your legs. Take one more breath. Bring your leg away. Take the strap. Bring the strap to the side. Bring your legs up into the air. Shaking your legs. Shake your arms. Let your legs go wide, shaking. And bring yourself down. We're going to come into Shavasana, posture of integration, letting everything seep into the tissues. Find yourself in a comfortable position and then stay connected to this moment. Stay here. Don't go to the future or the past. Connect to your breath. Gently begin to deepen your breath. to move your body. Paying attention, noticing your body, what you're noticing, how today's practice was. Let your awareness go to your low back. A lot of trunk stabilizing work today. See if that feels appropriate for you in your low back. Bending your knees, draw the knees in one at a time, and then side to side. Bring yourself onto your side, and from here pushing away to come up to seated or kneeling. Eyes are closed. We're going to close your practice. Bring your hands together. Push your hands to your heart, heart to the hands. We'll breathe down to our tailbone, the base of the spine, and as you make your humming sound, let that sound come from the base of your spine all the way up to the crown of your head. Follow that internally with your inner eyes. Big exhale. Inhale to your tailbone. Bowing in gratitude, in thanks. So practice like today had a lot of stabilizing aspects in the midsection, which is why you may feel your low back. I definitely feel my low back in a sense of the muscles. I didn't aggravate anything or anything like that. But all of the limb moving, when we move our limbs away from our body, our stabilizers have to turn on. And so coming with the breaths, doing mobility and then stability sometimes is a great way to activate what needs to turn on. And then depending on where you're at in your body today, what your strength is, it can be quite a bit. So noticing for you, what's the appropriate practice for you? That's what's really important. And that's what we should all do, is do what is the right thing for us. All right. So would love to hear from any of you that would like to say anything. Okay, good, Stevie. Hi, Michael. How are you? Nice to see you here. All right. Well, that'll give you a little something to do. So we're off next week. I take a week off every 8 weeks. 8 weeks on, 1 week off. So this is my week off next week. So lots of recorded classes. And then I teach for the rest of the week. I've got a class tomorrow and a class on Saturday. And then I won't be teaching again until March 7th. All right. Have a lovely day. You're welcome, Carolyn. Thank you, everyone, for joining me, and have a great day.